And my name's Carmel, and I've been really touched by tonight, so if I start crying, I was really touched by that Myman guy, but I just pictured Jesus on the cross, you know, and his love, you know, for everyone, you know, and that really came true to me tonight, listening or watching that guy that was Myman. So thank you so much. You made my heart soft. And well, I suppose the only thing, my early part of my life, I was, from what I can remember, I was always quite disconnected from myself. That's what I can see now as an adult, because I don't remember a lot of my childhood, and you know, I don't know. I think I was born with a hole in my soul. That's what I think. I don't know, but I know I grew, as a child, from what I can remember, I was always never content, and my first addiction really was sweets, and I never ate a dinner, so it was sweets, and I had to have it, you know, because I had this craving in me, and I had to have it, and so that was my early life, and then I came to London when I was about 16, and you know, my mother, actually, God love her, she died when she was 64, which was quite young. I was like 20, and you know, my father was an alcoholic, but you know, the dysfunction, posh word, in our family was there, and I don't know if that made me the way I was. I don't know, but I'll always remember my mother. She always had faith. So we were always, even if she lost something in the house, it was always Jesus lost, Jesus found, you know. So everything with my mother was faith, you know, and she didn't have anything when she died. But, you know, as I went on later in my adult life, she left me faith, you know, she left me faith, Amen. You know, and she had that strong. So I came to London from Ireland, and always felt lost in my life, always felt lost. I didn't know what was wrong with me, and I never thought of God, you know, that never came into me at that time in my life, and I just kind of got through life by the skin of my teeth, you know, and fast forward, I got a job. I was working in London, and then I got a job in the Canary Islands. I actually went out there on a holiday, and the girl I was with, she was really boring, and she wanted to have early nights, so I used to go out, and I got offered a job there in the Canaries, and I came back to London, handed in my notice, and went out there, and I felt lost out there as well, and I really struggled with looking after myself, you know. I didn't know how to nurture myself, how to feed myself, how to live in reality, really, and I was seeing a man out there casually, and then I had a one-night stand, and 3 months later I found out I was pregnant, so I didn't know who the father was, and to this day I still don't. That was 21 years ago, but for some reason I felt happy. Now, don't get me wrong, you know, in my past I've had abortions and miscarriages, and because I've been so disconnected, my heart has been so hard or disconnected, I never felt anything for them babies, you know, and I'm just trying to be as honest as I can, you know, here today, and And then when I was in the Canaries and I found out that I was pregnant, I felt happy. And but yeah, I still didn't know how to look after myself. And you know, and I lost my job, and I was out in the Canary Islands. This man gave me an apartment in the middle of nowhere, and I was petrified. And I would just lie in bed, curled up in a ball for the whole day. Knew I was pregnant, couldn't feed myself. I don't know what was wrong with me, you know, but so that's the way I was. And then I came back to London when I was 5 months pregnant, and a month later my son was born at 25 weeks. He was born 15 weeks early, and I called him Matthew, which meant a gift from God. And they told me he had 50-50 chance of survival, and I didn't feel anything, you know. I just sat by his incubator, and so anyway, Matthew came out of hospital 3 months later because he was so tiny and he was ventilated, and he was a very sick baby. So I was a woman with a baby that couldn't cope. I didn't know how to live, and I didn't know how to, you know, there was no help, I had no family, so I was on my own. And I used to beg this old woman that lived upstairs, can you stay with me tonight? And she says, I got to go home, love, you know. I couldn't explain to her what was wrong. I was scared, I was always underweight, and that's the way I was. And I used to go to church, but I never really got the meaning of it, really. I used to go to church, but, you know, I got my son baptised and communion and, you know, the different sacraments. And so it was when that's when the alcohol, I started to, somebody said, if you drink a drink, it'll make you hungry, you know. So I started drinking cider in the evening, and I started drinking cider, in the evening. So that progressed. You know, I put my son's life at risk because I couldn't deal with going to the hospital, because my son was in and out of hospital because of his breathing, because he was ventilated. So, you know, so that's the way I lived my life. I was just lost. And then it progressed on to heroin, because by this time my son was at secondary school. And, you know, there's no words I can put into the pain I felt, the withdrawal from heroin, the suicidal thoughts, desperation, guilt, shame, lost, alone, hopeless, you know. And I'd been in and out of detoxes, and you know, I'd attempt to cook in blackout. That's when you're walking around when you're drunk, and you know, I'd have the flames on, you know, and I'd fall asleep, and you know, and me and my son could have died. And that's how I know Jesus was looking after me, you know, and looking after my lovely son. And you know, and there was loads of them incidents, you know. But you know, having Jesus in my life has been a process, you know. It's been a process, and today here has really helped me, you know. Ask, and you know, God could and would if he was so, you know. That always, like, I mean, even standing up here today, you know, I meant to say to God, actually, I can't do this without God. Today, I can't do anything without God. You know, God did for me what I couldn't do for myself, you know. I mean, I see miracles every day in the fellowship that I go to, and miracles, people, tramps from the bench, you know, that come and, you know, they've got a full life, and, you know, the miracles. But, you know, and I've done a lot of damage to my son, and, you know, and I've got a lot of fear in me, but the only one can remove that is Jesus. And I have to ask him every day. You know, I can't start my day without Jesus in my life. In the morning, I ask him for me not to take a drink or a drug. I ask him, show me how to live. You know, and like other people have said today, you know, this world we live in today is scary, you know, and I can make a difference by, you know, by doing, you know, like Mandy said, I've been really working on seeing Christ in everybody, the angry person, you know, the irritable person, see Christ in them. And it's so, but when I do that all day and I go to bed at night, my heart is happy, you know. But when I get dragged into walking around the street and banging into people, and you know, I go to bed very unhappy, you know. And but I can't. My life today belongs to God. My life belongs to Jesus, you know, and I just do the best I can on a daily basis. And I'm not perfect, you know, I'm not perfect, but, you know, at the end of the day, I review my day and I see where I could have done better, and, you know, and then the next day I can try again, you know. And the same with my relationship with my son, you know, I didn't know how to be a parent. I don't know how to love. I have to ask Jesus to show me, you know, show me everything, you know. How do I love my son, you know? How do I do everything, really? I'm nothing without Jesus, you know. I'm just nothing, because left to my own devices, I just don't know how to live, you know. So I do the next right thing every day, you know, and I bring Jesus with me in everything. And I think I'm running out of time, am I? No.
Fine.
Oh God. I don't really know what else to say. You know, I just want to know what Jesus' will, God's will is for me, you know, and I love God. I mean, I love, you know, it's what a gift to be able to go in and bring hope to other addicts and alcoholics, and, you know, that's what I do every day. If I don't ring somebody, you know, and talk to them about addiction, how to, you know, I was given hope in a detox centre, you know, and I'm very skeptical as well, you know. I'm like, they're lying, you know. You know, when they say about, like, they got clean, and, you know, because even the 12-step program I go to, you know, there's 12 steps, there's this, but at the end of it, it's all about God again, you know. It's all about God. It's about a higher power, you know. And, you know, I've heard of atheists come into the fellowship and they get a higher power, they believe in God, you know. And because, I mean, from where I was, you know, I'd lie in a bed in withdrawal, you know, and the sound of my son's voice as a little boy would make me cringe, you know. I'd think, you know, I was just wrapped up in self. That's what I got to get out of every day. I've got to get out of self. Because when I'm in self, I'm in pain, you know. When I'm thinking of myself and my head's going, what can I do now? What, you know, what's going to be exciting now to do? Or, you know, what can fix me now? Or, you know, and the only one that can fix me, I know, is Jesus. And, you know, and I have to trust that. I have to trust it and, you know, just give him my all, because, you know, and it takes time. It just takes time. And I'm just going to leave it there because, you know, but, yeah, without God in my life, I'm nothing.